move into a man-on-man marking now as the likes of Pakwane are having a field day at the office. Manabala orchestrating and distributing and collaborating. The shot comes through. Boy, oh boy! Ooh. In the stadium. Now still looking for an option. Opts to go for a long shot. Oh my! Opportunity. You can even see with the coach here coming up on his feet for the first time. Lebo.
Ntsala ke gontse fela jalo jaaka bona ba romela ko pele go leta bogela ke ene Jonathan Kasani a ba tsa khwile fela jalo ya tlanya le letsoa go bo re pha.
Diski lovers, welcome back to It's Football on 216, where we dive into the world of youth football. Come with us and experience the thrill of the game like never before. We sit down in this particular episode and give you, the people, what the show is really meant for. On episode 4, Football on 216, you can look out for the weekend review the fixtures that took place, Sevens Academy versus the School of Excellence. But more particularly, I'm so excited for the guest that we have today. The lady from Future Life will come and give you, the young boy, the coach, the parents, advice about what to eat, how the diet works for the learners to get the game to the next level. And then, of course, we build up to the weekend coming up. Boys to men, men to boys. Evening class is in session once again. Yeah. We got fail. But I think me and Sfiso are more of boys to men. You guys are fully grown men.
Boys under men.
Boys under men. But of course, I've given my team homework then. We know how it works at super sports schools. We want to keep it alive. We want to keep it juicy. So call it show and tell. There's purposes of the show today. I've asked the boys to come and bring me today something that speaks about football from their childhood. Because I'm tired of the stories from the guys on comms. Every week, Ora's telling you as a superstar and banging goals, but there's no evidence of it. So I've asked them to come this time and to just share with us some of their moments from their childhood, and then we go into it. So show and tell is in session. I'm sure the grade R's in school would really enjoy this section. Ora, what do you have, my friend?
Thando o itse ga o re fa tiro ga tshwantse go gopola gore nna le lebogang gale re tswile ko phapusi
You've left school a while ago.
o re tshwarisa botata mare go go tshwaretse sengwe ke tshepa o tla se rata sengwe se go tshwaretse wa bona o dirile gore ke ye ko
That looks old.
ke ye go di archiving tsaka.
When is that from? 1981.
It's go di archiving ke tsamaile ka ile go tlhatlhamolla go rutomolla e tsamaile jalo ke tshamekile ka yona corporate league ke le bona letsene ke tshameka le bo Makaskins bo le bogang kukame corporate league ke ne ke tlhatlhamolla digolo le tlwane le kgagoga ka jalo ngwa ga o ne ke dirisa cox e ka yona ka ikgapela jalo top goal scorer of the
season. Look at you, Mr. Top Goal Scorer. Finally, because I'm tired of it. You know, there wasn't super sports schools back in the day, unfortunately. So you see your top goal scorer award. Let's move from one goal scorer to hopefully another. What have you brought to show and tell today?
Ay lalela mfethu.
Lalela.
Ngiyaphathela izinto ezifresh, but ke mina bengadlali mfethu le phambili. So bengakori yabona.
Yeah, you didn't play. Okay. Oh, those are medals, those are certificates.
Ngiphathela izinto ezigrand, mara ngifuna ukuqala emaphepheni, yazi nawe iphepha le account.
Okay, let's start with the paper, yeah. Show it to the camera. Hey, the people want to see. Don't lie to us.
Street football. Street football. La ngidlala kuyibakhona enye team yangale Kaslame Davidson. Lana primary school eNkathaka Zulu ngangidlala ke lapha iDisk.
And then when you algibela umnandi.
Lapho ngisadlala emumva ngirelaxile yabona ngithi abanye abahambe beshaya nayi la bese ngibuya la khona le ngifunayo enebhola neboots then ngathola player of the tournament ngase ngidlala
player of the tournament
ngase ngidlala kwi Real Stars sadlala eJimmiston ngiyakhumbula kunenye indawo sasibiza ukuthi emaqandeni la eJimmiston le kaMakawusi uzoyazi Makawusi hayi lena ke lezi ke ngidlala ama indoor soccer lana bo sports
yabo oh goodness you guys are superstars
6 versus 6 yabona izinto kanjalo lapho ngifunde khona ibhayithu ke lapho ngigibela khona lalela
oh goodness okay I'm so excited to see what Lebu has because I've always said on commentary that Lebu akekho mnandi so I'm hoping he can prove me wrong. Lebu, let's end the show and tell with you.
Ntsala ke phela ke bua ke la ke re khwele ga ka e tshameka
oh
ke ne ke lebella ntsala ke ka jalo se ke se ratileng ke gore a ke goroga mo Gauteng ntsala ke se ke simolutseng ka sone ga ke dua ke ne ke le modiragatsi I'm an actor ka jalo acting tsala ke
Oh, drama awards, okay.
e nthusitse gore ntse like kgaso e utlwang e monate ka lobebe la Setswana.
That's where your commentary comes from. But that looks like a church certificate, man. It looks like a congregation.
I go balle yone Leboga Mahume
For the
for
best
being the
lead
best
actor.
lead best lead actor for the year 2017. Ka jalo kgaso ye ntle e ntse like e monate.
That's where the commentary comes from. Oh, boys.
a ke makale a na le drama so ra le
He's so dramatic. He's so dramatic. Oh, goodness. But that's what Super Sports Schools is about. It's about the sports. It's about the drama. And it's also about the academics. So make sure that you push and do well in class too. But thanks, boys. I've enjoyed that. I really, really like that show and tell. Let's get into the results then from the weekend. We had fixtures from Sevens Academy and the Safa Transnet School of Excellence. Sfiso Gutlem Simango, you are our designated results reader for the results. Take us through the results then from yesterday through from under 13 through to under 19.
Yeah. All right, sikubingelele sikwamukele football on 216 lona Sifiso Kuhle. Umele besting okamsimanga sikubhekele ke ukuthi ikhambe kanjani ibhalopalo. Siqale lapha kuma under 13 lapha sibone khona ke lapha na Sevens Academy iwina ngo10 uyivula zonke izandla mawubani lawo makoni. 10 ishaya lapha na School of Excellence 10 not. Sambe sikubhekele lapha under 15 lapha sibone khona ke School of Excellence sibuyisa ke induku 4-2 School of Excellence lapha siwine khona. Sikubhekele kuma under 17 School of Excellence besicabanga na kanjani ukuthi sithathile leyo nto kanti Sevens Academy izobuya kwaba 1-1 kanti ke lapha under 19 the big boys lapha sibone khona lapha eklasini shay free kick emnandi kakhulu 2-2 lapha School of Excellence ne Sevens Academy bebambene khona ilezo ke ubuyithola ezinye uzoyithola lokho second 20 siyabuya.
I shy Nandi boy, Nandi. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that last moment. K2 made it class. Goodness. If there was ever a kid that showed that he's a class act outside of the classroom, it's him. A goalkeeper scoring a free kick. Goodness, I hope my graphics team can get that goal. But you don't see that even in the PSL, guys. Right?
Mina into engizokutshela yona mfethu Thando ungakhohle ukuthi mkasana ekasi phume K1
Umkasana.
so untwana mama ichaza mama ngikhuluma no coach wakhona uthe ucoach cause ngiyakhumbula commentator lebu noNgcobo but how this is interesting kwenzakalani ucoach uthi ayikho into interesting lapha na wonke ama free kick aka left class eklasini bayaze yakhe and kusuke kuyigoli umbona ngathathanga nesikhathi akalokhanga aima ufikile nje hwahla ube huri pha.
I think that's our unanimous choice for goal of the week then.
Yeah.
We don't usually agree. If there's one thing we agree on this time, that's the goal of the week. K2 class. Okay, at least we're agreeing that. Boys, 10-0 in the under 13 game, Lebu. Sevens Academy, 10 goals. What happened there?
Beke fitileng ga ne re bua ntse like re buile gore Sevens Academy ya nosa. Me ba re bontshitse gore ba nosa ka nnete 10-0 ntse like gore ga ke dine go diragalang ka School of Excellence go bua nnete ntse like fela ke bile le itumeleng kgosi ga dia ga banna ka mora ke re he ba tsena ke ba bone ba simane ba khutsane thata ba School of Excellence ba khutsane too much ntse like o lebelle ba Sevens Academy ba tshwana le ba Chiefs ba golo ba telle e bile kgwele ya tsoga ntse like mo gare ga mpa le bala o na le teng Malik Kawana na itirela wena Thando Mtšiako go na le Destiny Basongo Msimpiwe Mboga. There's a new record. The fastest goal under 13 got 30 seconds. In
fact, Lebu, I think that maybe the quickest goal in the GDL entirely. Last year, we had Ian Mokhale who scored in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
So 30 seconds is pretty quick.
30 seconds ntse like anosa Simphiwe Mboga ke mo ke boneng teng ka re di no di atla mme ka jalo ntse like School of Excellence ke na le ke a tshwenyeganyana ka bone ka gone di wa di tsamae sentle mme ke utlwile o rapele ntse ke bua le ene gore go sengwe se ka re ga se tsamae sentle ka kwa fela ke itumela gore dilo di boela sakeng fela ke tshepa gore ba tla boela ko morago ba go baakanya sentle ka gonne tshameko ya bone ga ke a rata gotlhelele ntse like fela wa itse ke development football re a gola ntse like.
But let's talk about that because, boys, before we go into some of the results, right, we'll get into the 15, the 17, and the 19.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing now is, and I've always wondered it about the School of Excellence, you hear these hotmans on the older generation, or your guys speak of the School of Excellence and its glory days in the past, and that now it's sort of stopped producing. But for me as a younger guy, I see the School of Excellence playing as a GDL commentator. I see them going to games, I see them playing fixtures, so I'm like, they're still playing and producing players. What's actually happening there, Rapeleng?
Go School of Excellence o ka re gona le the mathata a boardroom tota go ka ela tlhoko gonne dilo tse dintsi tse leng gore di a diragala ga jana ke mathata a sponsorship mme fela ga re batle go tsena mo yone thata se ke se itseng ke gore kgang e teng e isitswe ko Transnet e mo tafoleng ga jaana go eme fela ka Transnet gore ba bone gore a ba tswella pele le School of Excellence kgotsa ba ikgogela morago mare mathata a School of Excellence a tle o tsamayang ka te a ntse a gola ga ile gore ga gona ope o tla tlang a ba etleletsa gonne ga ke lebelela mo motshamekong wa mabana under 15 go na le batshameki ba le bane ba ileng gore mo kgweding e tlang tlabe ba se tlhele ba lena le setlhopha ga ke lebelela under 15 ne na le batshameki ba le bararo ko bankeng nagana ga batshameki ba le bararo ko bankeng ba le bane mo setlhopheng se se simolotseng ba tsamaya mme fela setlhopha seo sa School of Excellence nka rialo kare se santse ne se ntsha batshameki ga o bona go na le batshameki ba santse ba tswa mo setlhopheng ba tsamaya ba ya go ditlhopheng tse dingwe ke nka go araba kare santse ne ba etsa mme fela ga go ka nna le mongwe o tlang a ba etleletsa ba tlo ntsha go feta fa ba ntshang teng ga jaana.
Because Mapena comes from the School of Excellence, Kutlwano Letlaku comes from the School of Excellence. So it's a bit weird, right? They're still functioning. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let us know at home what you think using that hashtag football on 216 via the School of Excellence and some of those talking points. So perhaps you're one of the officials there and you could give us some clarity. Official under 17.
Masibheka laphana wena Thando ke futhi ama under 17 njengoba ke ora besechazini School of Excellence laphana ama under 17 besibonisa ukuthi sifuna ukwenzani School of Excellence ngikhulume no coach ngoba ade chaza ngama player afuna ukuhamba kwelinye iqembu elithanda lona letikitaka School of Excellence besilokhu udlala itikitaka and wonke umuntu beqawuthi seswinile uyazi bakore ngoba angithi ngiyaza ngikhuluma nge-fastest goal igoli lokubuyisa Sevens Academy ikore ngo-90
minutes to equalize.
Equalize.
Remember, but then that's familiar with Sevens Academy label. Remember when they're still in a Sluma Academy? Lepu last year, I think Joburg City scored 90 minutes to equalize. How did the under 19 game go?
Nsalaka ubu ka Lepu ubu khale thata Lepu. Ne re la ka ene mabana. Ay o blind. Le mabana re mona na tshameka tse khulengwe tswileng di atla ntsale ka jalo ga ke makala go ba bona ba nosa nako e fedile ka go pola sentla bana ba nosa go fedile le me le mabana ntsala ke ba tshamekile 2-2 Sevens Academy School of Excellence fela ntsala ke go motshameki mongwe mo le wena ntsala ke ba re ke rulane nkosi o tlhaga ka for destroyers ka mothembisa ka ya kwa kukasa
Bakasana
le nna ke dira skiso go na le motshameki rulane nkosi ntsala ke o tshaba mitsa Mr Composure o mo level o bogale thata go na le mo ba re ke
Mr Composure no man not Kalen Cats there's a new Mr Composure
go na le mongwe go na le motshameki o tshamekileng ko Phillies games last season ba re ke ene Sfiso Mbatha ba re ke VIP yane tlatjava na bantu ke ne tlatjava na bantu lene ke mo ne ntsala ke motshameko o ne le monate thata bona Thando ne go na le dino mme ke a tshepa ka dumelo Sevens Academy le lebeleng sente ka mo go etlang ka teng ebile maka bona teng ba re ba batla Kaizer Chiefs ba re ba batla Kaizer Chiefs ka gore ke bone ba ile gore ba ba tlhopa ka jalo under 13 under 19 o ba lebelle ba Sevens Academy ntsala.
Well, that was the broadcast fixture then brought to you on Sunday. We did have games also taking place on Saturday. More notably then, results that I'll just point up for you. Sekeledi Mokhale dropped points for the first time, a 2-2 draw for the under-15s of Mamelodi Sundowns. The under-19s of Kaizer Chiefs, they went to draw 1-1 against East Rand Athletic Club. And then we go over to Coach Koskarinho results. Of course, we're always interested to see what he's doing, whether he's counting or he's winning or what's happening. But I can confirm to you that they were playing against Chess Galaxy at the Germiston Stadium. That game ended 2-2. But our focus on football on 216 is not just on the Gauteng Development League. It goes beyond. It's about the KZN League. It's about all the football that takes place in South Africa. And well, in light of celebrating Africa Day and pro-Africanism, our ladies did us so well up in the continent. Our under-15 ladies winning one of the CAF titles. In Zanzibar, that's where they were participating. In fact, they weren't the only team playing there. We also had Ubuntu Academy from Cape Town, also somewhat represented. But our ladies, gents, winning in Zanzibar, the top African team. Bamnandi labochiri.
Wena Thando kere re ba tla tsa masego ba makgarijana ba etso under 15 ra itse gore go tlase kwa makgarijana a rona ba dira sentle ke ka mo kere ba ka imisa matsogo tota makgarijana ba fa coach Nthabele Modiko ile gore ke ene under 17 coach ya makgarijana a rona gore le nna ke teng ke kopa go imisa letsogo khotsa le ene Dr Coach Desiree Ellis a ka tsaya le mongwe a mo isa go camping a nne le banyana ba khona go tlotlisana le bo Thembi Kgatlhane gore go ya go tshameka kwa Africa le gape se sengwe se se botlhokwa ke gore makgarejana ga ba fenya motshameko ba just tlhopha se se le setse ba jele Morocco
A big Morocco.
Morocco ke setlhopha se e leng gore ba batla go nna powerhouse ya African football ga o ka lebelela di-facility tsa Morocco di spot on ke re ka go rialo ke a ba lebogisa makgarejana coach ya Motšhitšhwa Ntombi Khumalo o dirile go ka tlala seatla le makgarejana
Sifiso angitshele mani mfethu labo cherry bayadlala madoda.
So mani ngoba echaza ora mabezodla iMorocco but mina nginento ebengilokhu ngisho kwi-commentary zolo ukuthi yabona umhlaba kumele ulungisele ibhola South Africa special development mawubheka lezi ntwana zama-under 17 ubheka nabo cherry bama-under 15 ibhola South Africa le ballon esikhuluma ngayo gents iyeza
Yes, ladies ballon d'Or
ivane nje lapha
ladies ballon d'Or. Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
singivane nje lapha ibhola la South Africa yabona ninikeze iminyaka mhlambe ewu10 yana uzobona buka iGauteng Development League ubuka bo Bay Hill Cup la badlalayo bese ubuka na amantombazana ama-under 15 ngiyakutshela ibhola South
Listen,
Africa
I've always said to Lebo though, Lebo has 2 little girls at home. A couple of girls, he has a team of ladies at home. Right? And I've said to him, Lebo, your girls need to go play somewhere. Your ladies must go play. So are you convinced now that they must go play? Goliadi now?
Tsala ke bastana ba me o monosi o tshameka tennis.
Okay.
E o monosi ene wa bala. Ka jalo mo kgoleng ya dinao ga ke ba bone.
Ababo, eshabe komnandi bafana nawe ne.
Fela ntsala ke o bua jalo ka setlhopha sa rona sa basetsana. Ba gaetsho a yanda Dlamini o mo lebelele sentle le ene o tsenya letsogo mo developmenteng ya basetsana. O lebelele ene push ya modise le ene o tsenya letsogo mo kgoleng ya dinao ya basetsana. Ka jalo ga ke makale gore banyana ba dira sentlana go godimo ka gone ba simola go fatshe go development tsela. Ka jalo bo dingwageng tse di tlang Sifiso ke dumelana le wena. Re lebelele kgwele ya rona ya basetsana gore e tlo go ya kae.
Well, ladies, well done. We are proud of you. Football on 216 sees you. Carry on shining the spotlight. And of course, 3 shows coming live to you on your home of school sports or the Super Sports Schools podcast. I really enjoyed the chat with Matthew Piers that premieres every Sunday at 6. We have our show, Football on 216, every Monday at 6. And then the Game E-Play Sports Show with Skara as the host at Tuesday at 6. So catch out for more of those shows on your home of school sports. Special guest show coming up. I wouldn't go anywhere if I was you. Ski lovers, welcome back to it. Football on 216. And I promised you a good guest. I promised you the goods. Well, speaking of goods, I've been given quite a bit of goods then for breakfast from Future Life. I don't know what I'm going to pick to have, but I do have Miss Bianca Jonishkeit to thank for that. She joins us on this segment on Football on 216 to chat about how you athletes can use nutrition to elevate your game. So I'd like to think that this segment of the show, not only for our football stars, if you play rugby, if you run, if you just want to remain fit, I think this can be of good use to you. She joins me along with Coach Coscarino of Rio de Janeiro. In fact, it feels a bit like I'm in Europe, right? Because we know you from Rio, and then she has German descent, so it feels a bit like I'm in a different place. But Miss Bianca, good evening. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me on the show this evening.
Firstly, maybe you could just speak us through your background, nutrition. When did you study it? Why nutrition and how?
So, like you said, my name is Bianca, and I've always been passionate about nutrition. I love the idea how you can use it to elevate your sports performance. I love how life revolves around food and eating. We often have Sunday lunches with our families where we're sitting together and we're eating the food. Life really revolves around what we eat, how we eat it, when we eat it, and we can really use it to improve our health, improve our performance, and that's essentially why I studied it. So I went to the University of Pretoria. I then did my community service in Vosloorus, where I did work with some young children. Yes. So where I worked with young children all the way through to adults, just help them really use nutrition to guide their lifestyles. I'm just really, really passionate about food, nutrition, and how we can use it to benefit ourselves.
Nice. I hear the passion about nutrition and about food. Tell me what your favorite sport is, Bianca. Do you watch sports? What's your favorite sport?
So I do love watching sport. So my favorite sport to play is netball, and I love to run, and I've also started boxing now, which is really exciting. Okay. And then I really love to watch all kinds of sports. I love watching the football. The Premier League was quite intense, and the FA Cup actually this weekend.
Who do you support?
Okay. I support Everton. I am an Everton
okay, that's a nice one.
It's a little bit different, not your mainstream team, but nonetheless, I love watching it. I love watching any kind of sports, from girl football, rugby, tennis, anything really to watch is quite,
nice.
I enjoy.
So Bianca, welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
I'm Koska by profession, and I'm from Rio de Janeiro. So I'm bringing the Ballon d'Or from Brazil. It's going via Germany. Since you guys have 7 Ballon d'Ors, I'm not going to tolerate that. So it's going to go via there and not stay and come to Africa.
So it's going to go via Germany.
It has to
lay over. We lay over in Germany.
For sure. But your Beckenbauers and your Mullers had their chance. So now we have to bring it back home. Yeah, for sure. No. What I'd like to know, Bianca, on your side is that you are a nutrition expert, right? So I'm a coach at a development academy. So, and since I'm a coach, I'm curious about now, maybe one of the coaches is watching and they're very curious as to now we're bringing nutrition into the picture. Some of us are not even affording these things, you understand? So how can me as a coach stimulate my players in terms of these nutritional benefits that we have to incorporate in the players' diets or not?
Well, firstly, well done on your sports development and coaching. I love that, developing from a young age all the way through to the child getting older. So nutrition is really important in youth or younger athletes. Not only does it help with performance, but children still need to grow and develop. So we still need to make sure that they meet their milestones, have proper nutrition so that they aren't shorter statured, that they reach puberty on time. We need to ensure that when training, when doing exercise, our body requires more energy, more nutrients. We need to make sure that we fuel the body, that we replace all that energy that's used, so that that energy can then ultimately also help with growth and development of the young athlete.
Okay.
Like you also mentioned, prices are, I think for everyone is a big thing at the moment, and foods are expensive. So we really need to focus on affordable foods and meals that these children can have. A very underrated product, I think, is a peanut butter sandwich. Something as simple as a peanut butter sandwich. A nice amount of protein, a nice amount of carbohydrates. It's quick, it's easy. You can make it the night before. You can grab and eat. Some of the Future Life products as well, if you buy in bulk, so the Future Life Smart Food, which provides you essentially with 1.5 slices of bread and 1 egg, and 50% of your micronutrient requirements. If you buy the bulk pack, it works out to around $4.20 a meal, which can be affordable. It can be worked into a family's budget.
That's nice.
Essentially for
$4.20. Wow, Tando. I didn't even think of that.
Tell me though, Bianca, I know we speak about this amazing brand, Future Life, and the energy that it gives you, but some of these kids and the clubs particularly that involved in the league that we do, like Coach said, can't afford it, right? So what makes Future Life stand out then? Why Future Life is an energy building substance as opposed to peanut butter?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at Future Life, we use smart nutrition. So we have a team of dietitians. We have a team of people that work in developing a well-balanced product. It's also really convenient. So you can mix it as a shake if you don't have time. Time is a big thing.
Yeah.
You're getting to training really early or later in the afternoon. You finish school, you go to training, then you have matches on the weekend. When am I actually supposed to take the time to make food, sit and make the food? So you can take it, it's convenient. You can buy it in a pre-packaged packaged sachet, you can pre-portion it for yourself. It also has added micronutrients inside, which then maybe gives it a one-up on, say, for instance, the peanut butter sandwich. So you're getting supplemented with 50% of your micronutrient requirements in a 50-gram serving.
But then something that I've always seen, and this thing especially said with the big guys at the gym, that's why I don't gym, I won't lie, Bianca, because I'm in the gym and the guys are big and then always they chugging a protein shake, guju. So tell me that in taking a protein shake immediately after sex, what value does, I'm trying to see what here it says here, high protein shake. What value does a protein shake have to the game?
Yes. So a post-nutrition shake or supplement that people often have is really important for that recovery. We want to give back what we've basically used in the session or in the game. So protein, and contrary to popular belief where everyone thinks it's just protein, we need protein and carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is our body's main source of energy, and if we don't replace that energy, our body can't actually use the protein for muscle growth and development. So you basically want to replace those carbohydrates that you've now used. The shake is a very easy and convenient way in doing that because it has 16 grams of protein and 16 grams of carbohydrates as well in the high protein shake. So you're replacing those carbohydrates, which means you're less fatigued, you can carry on with your everyday processes, and then you're giving yourself the protein as well. So that really helps with the muscle growth, muscle development, repairing the muscle then. So they work in combination. We don't ever use one nutrient as more powerful or has a bigger advantage than the other nutrient, because they all work in harmony within our bodies.
Okay. So now I'm fascinated now. Now you're talking about these proteins and you actually, the Future Life offers more of it. So now my question comes here. Age-wise, if I'm coaching maybe 6 to 13-year-olds compared to 15-year-olds to 19-year-olds, like what sort of like nutrition can you suggest to these boys or girls?
Yes. So age also impacts largely on our protein requirements, our energy requirements. So protein should be between 10 and 30% of the total energy intake. Which is a little bit complicated, but as we grow older, I think the easiest way to put it is as we grow older, because they're still growing, they require more energy. So for instance, 4 to 6-year-olds will have very different energy requirements between a 16 and an 18-year-old. So 16 and 18-year-old will have higher energy requirements, which means they'll essentially have higher protein requirements than, say, a 4 to 6-year-old child.
Okay.
So that will be different in terms of age. They also have puberty comes in differently with each age group, especially between boys and girls, and that slightly impacts that as well. But I think what's important to remember is that we want to feed these children appropriately for their age, and we want to ensure that they increase their energy requirements, increase their protein requirements as they get older.
Oh, okay. So sorry, Tandomen. Something on my mind just popped up now. So does the Shisanyama work against me? As a coach.
So maybe a quarter, but not. The Shisanyama again can be part of a balanced diet.
Okay.
We work around having balance, not an excess of something, and not depriving ourselves of something else.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, as long as it's not an everyday thing, Shisanyama is essentially dried meat.
Yeah.
It's really protein.
We
It's
brine.
protein.
No, we're brying this weekend.
Yeah.
We brine.
Your nyama.
No, I'm winning. The results are coming. I have Future Life now.
Yeah, exactly. So braising is essentially a healthier way of preparing meat. So it's not deep frying or anything like that.
Right.
So braising the nyama is quite a nice way to prepare the meat. Again, you're not going to be having it all day, every day. We can go for maybe leaner pieces of red meat or some chicken on the braai and have a bit of a balance, especially if you are, for instance, having Shisanyama 2 or 3 times a week, then you can just change the type of protein source.
Please don't forget the voice on that.
Yeah, the voice. And again, I mean, as long as you're not having the whole roll of vors, you're just having a piece of vors, then it's really not a problem. And the same with the pap. Pap is in our culture, it's our food. You can't leave it out of your diet. Pap is as important as bread or in the same level as bread. So pap with your diet is really not a problem. It's the amount of pap that we eat.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we're having a plate of pap like this, we will gain some weight. But if we're having pap in a controlled amount with the nyama, with some chakalaka, then it can really be balanced out. Chakalaka.
Bianca, we're speaking so much about, you know, your orthodox healthy foods, your pap,
Yes.
your chisanyama. What about sweets? Because these are kids. It's important to remember that some of these kids we deal with are 12, 11, 10. How much sweets can the kids have? I see here there's a bar, right? But what about sweets? You know, Maynard, Jelly Baby, something with sugar. What about that as a part of the diet?
So again, it can be incorporated into a healthy lifestyle. If 80% of your lifestyle you're focusing on including enough vegetables, enough meat, enough starches, you can still, there's some leeway to have sweets. And like you said, they're children. When we were children, we had sweets. It's just, again, preventing the excess of sweets. Sweets are also, if we go back to a football match, which is 90 minutes for obviously the older kids, sweets are a good way to give that spike of energy, especially halftime, to kind of replace those carbohydrates that they've lost in the
sweets at
first.
halftime?
Yes.
Thank you, Bianca.
Yeah.
Thank you. No. I have Bianca now. I have Bianca. Yeah. So we sorted. Wins are coming.
Yeah. And not all the time, and not too many, and sweets with fluids. So sweets with your water at halftime, again, test it out in training sessions. Make sure their gut is comfortable with it. You don't want a child on the field and then all of a sudden they're getting cramps and then they can't actually play the game. And then again, just limit it to 4 or 5 jelly babies, like you said, with some water. Then that fuels them at least for the next half of the game. They can have that Future Life high energy bar as well. There's some electrolytes in there, some fast release carbohydrates. So I don't know if you guys have heard about GI before. I'm sure you've seen it somewhere.
No, not yet. We are hearing it
for the first time. Okay, so maybe some of the watchers of the show have heard about GI. So a GI, or the glycemic index, sounds complicated, but all it essentially means is how quickly the energy is released into your body. So for instance, a sweet is a high GI food, so it releases the energy quickly. So you need that during the game, during halftime. And then a low GI food releases the energy slower. So post-workout, post-training, post-match, then you have, for instance, the peanut butter sandwich again, which is a lower GI, which gives you sustained energy to basically prevent this fatigue. I know you mentioned earlier you often play 2 matches over a weekend, a tournament, and then by providing that lower GI food after the first game, basically ensures that they have sustained energy for the rest of the evening to recover before the next game, before the next match.
That's
Bianca, you heard in our earlier segment that we also have young ladies that are playing football and doing very well in football, right?
Yeah.
I just want you to explain to me what the difference between a diet and nutrition is, right? Because my mom used to diet, and no offense, mom, I'm not trying to diet. Like, I'm not trying to go on a diet, right? So I need to understand, and for these ladies watching this to understand too, is what we're talking about now a diet that my mom is on, or what's nutrition actually, Bianca?
So I'm very passionate about this. So a diet has a very negative connotation, and my big philosophy is, if you can follow this lifestyle every day for the rest of your life until you die, then you can do it. If you can't do it, it shouldn't be something that you consider, because there are some crazy restrictive diets which we obviously don't want female athletes to partake in. Remember, female athletes also, they menstruate, they grow. We need to ensure that we have sufficient nutrients before they get to older athletes. So we really want to make sure that they're fueling their bodies in the right way so they can perform correctly, they can train properly, you can prevent this fatigue, you can prevent illnesses like the common cold, all of that. You really want these women just to follow a nutritious, balanced lifestyle and eating behaviors. That's really the difference.
Just another question from my side. We had a chat earlier about hydration. So I just maybe want you to maybe dive into that, because you tell these kids to come with water bottles,
Yeah.
and then they don't.
never come.
Yeah. So how important is water in this game?
So an interesting fact, which I think I'll start off with, is even a 2% dehydration in an individual can completely affect their performance. So that's a small 2% of
2%?
2% of dehydration
Now I
can
know.
affect your
Hey,
performance.
coach, it's out Rowane.
Now I know. Don't be personal, Baba.
Spisho comes to games without water. You tell
Yeah.
him all the time that you come with water to commentate.
No, water is of utmost importance, and I think the important part is just making it normal, not only focusing on halftime or match time, but adequate hydration and fluid intake before matches, during training. Your body is also very impressive. The more you drink, the more it kind of wants or craves.
Really?
So people say, oh, I really don't like water, but the more you drink, the more your body wants it. Your body needs this water for improved performance, preventing fatigue. Especially, we live in Africa. We've got a much warmer climate to other, maybe not Brazil or
Germany.
yeah, in summer, but we really have a really warm climate. So we need to replace all the fluids that we lose. Remember, we sweat when we exercise, when we perform, and we need to replace that. That's a big indication of, you can see that the water's essentially leaving my body and I need to replace it. And that's sometimes how you can explain it to these younger athletes, because why must I drink water? They really like to understand why, not just because my coach says, but because it can help me with my performance.
No,
it will
I'm
make
starting
me
to
feel
act as an
better.
example now. I'm always getting a stick that you need to drink water every time. Now I'm drinking water. Can you please fetch me water?
Bianca, thank you so much for coming here on Football on 216. Maybe you could give us just some final concluding remarks. What advice can you give finally to these athletes? Diet-wise, nutrition-wise, we said we're throwing away diet. No diet, mama. Hey, please, my lady. No diet. We're throwing away diet, nutrition. What last advice can you give for the young boys and girls watching this?
I think nutrition is important in all aspects. So pre-game, pre-training, during matches, and post-recovery as well. So nutrition plays a role in all three factors, and it can really help improve performance. And it doesn't have to be complicated. We can go back to simplicity. We can prepare before. We have the Future Life on-the-go products that we can use. Nutrition doesn't have to be complicated. It can be easy. It can be adjusted to your needs, your taste buds. And don't forget hydration. I think is another important factor.
I think also it reduces, it also plays a role in terms of reduces injuries, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, nice, okay.
Yeah, we can chat for forever.
Yeah.
So good nutrition really can
Fascinating.
prevent injuries, prevent illnesses, prevent fatigue. Again, if we're not nourishing our bodies, how do you expect them to perform? That's when we will get injuries. If we're not resting, if we don't have the correct nutrition, we really can cause some injuries.
Sure.
Lastly then, Ms. Bianca, where can people get the product? Where is it available and how?
So the Future Life products are in major retail stores. So if you can just add it to your shopping basket.
Yeah.
We also have our Future Life website, which is really fun and interactive. You can order your products there. It gets delivered to your house or to your academy or wherever you would like the products. So very simple and easy to get your hands on.
Nice.
Well, we promised you on Football on 216, on the first episode, we set out to make bold claims that we'd bring the Ballon d'Or to South Africa. And you see it, we're doing it step by step. Nutrition, it's affordable, it's available, and you can do it your way. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Football on 216. Coach, thank you, man. We're not going to have your segment this time around. This sort of replaced that. So I do thank you for your time once again, and all the best for your games on the weekend.
Thanks a lot, my brother. This is a segment and a half. Now I know what to do when I go back. First and foremost, water, and then we go and replenish that lost fluids in the body.
Yeah, Ms. Bianca, thank you so much also for your time and your insights and your intelligence. But I did tell you that I'm going to ask you for one small flavor at the end. Favor at the end. I'm going to ask you to look into that camera. I think that camera belongs to you. You're going to say the following, and it's going to link us to the break directly. You linking us. So you're going to say, Maumnandi Football on 216. So Maumnandi
Football on 216, we go to the next segment, right? So
Perfect.
that's your cam.
I'm going to give it a go.
Bianca.
Thank you. Mam Nandi, Nandi, football on 216.
Nandi. Let's go to the break and bring the full squad back and hear what they have to say about Bianca's Nandiness.
With the girls being number one in Africa, understanding following Banyana and the champions. So what a feeling. On the Africa Day, we're coming back with a trophy, being African champions, the girls.
I'm so excited what this girl did. They are our pride as a country. Do you know when you have a dream about something big, but you don't know what exactly it is? This cup means a lot to me. Well done, under 15 champions 2024 Africans. You are the best in Africa. You are number one today.
I feel nervous, I feel good, happy, excited because I really appreciate them. Without them, I would not be here today. In the finals, the time the ball hit the post, I was so nervous. I almost cried, but then my lovely captain gave me confidence to never give up, switch on. To all the other goalkeepers, they need to be disciplined, listening to coach instruction exactly the way it is, and being focused, eyes always on the ball when you're in the field.
I did not sleep. I was very excited to be able to show South Africa that we have the cup and we're the best in Africa currently. We did not have a lot of support there in Tanzania. But that was not a problem to us. We knew that even though the supporters were against us, we will show them what football is. We will show them what South Africa is. A team, I'm very proud of them from the beginning, working hard. No matter what people say, we'd like to also thank the South Africans for the support and everything they've done for us from the beginning of the tournament to the end. We love you.
Yeah, I think firstly to the girls, huge congratulations. They played so well in the semi-final, final. I mean, there's really incredible potential within that group there. I think the boys, the reality is football is going to be full of ups and downs, and this, I think, it's probably felt a bit of a down when they went in with quite high hopes. So really, it's all about how do you bounce back from pretty disappointments, setbacks. So these things, they can't define you, but you've got to learn lessons from them. Once we went out of the tournament, we said, okay, we're out, but we can now really get behind the girls. And especially in the final, the whole stadium was against South Africa for some reason, except our group of boys and support crew. So maybe that got noted. But yeah, I think that maybe competing against some of those bigger physical teams to see the fight that the boys still had was noted as well.
Helping the opponents up, maybe after a foul, and continuing respecting the refs. Of course, even if they acting out sometimes, continuing respecting them. Yeah. I think that's what sets us apart. I like to say, well done to us for all the hard work that you put in a tournament, and let's not give up and try to push on, because we never know what's next. Maybe you might win a bigger tournament than this.
I think you need to thank Motsepe Foundation, thank CAF for this initiative, because this helps our players, from mass participation to get into elite performance, and I mean, the girls played 5 matches, so you get 5 international caps, at the game format, that really suits their age. So this is very important.
Back with Amakenge for the final segment, and boys, think you boys need to try some of this Fiso Gwekem Simango. You're quite a small guy like me. You're a small guy like me. I think you could benefit Fiso. A couple of protein bars, machita. There's one for you, Fiso. No, man, we must hit the gym, boys. I think this would really help you. But I've given you all your fair share of dinner, breakfast. I don't know what it is for you guys, but what did you guys make of the nutrition talk from Bianca's Fiso? Team wasekasi, we've spoken about which sometimes when we about Lipaloni by 3 in faith. Uthatheni from lento lezi era Bianca italk yakhe.
So when athando namangiza njengomuntu wasekasi yabo umuntu ophume ekasi mangiza ngiza kuthiwa hayi sine dietitian sine nutrition khona la izositshela so ngihlale umuntu wasekasi mangamtshela lo gama uzocala ukuthi something man bafuna ukudlisa lezi zinto ezimbi amapapa nani but then ushilo wathi ama sweet ayangena lapha ugaya intwana isweet nyana ibe ne energy intwana ugaya amanzi ibe ne energy so ngiyacabanga ukuthi amathima asekasi bafethu khona into ayiphikile ngoba nale ngibonile kuthiwa ineshukela imnandi so thina ekasi kakhulukazi Ukuthi umuntu mayizokhuluma ngalezi zinto lezo uzothi hayi hamba odla istamp wena wena idla ipapa kuphela yabona so into engithekile ukuthi ungaqhubeka like uphile like i-nutrition life yakho ibe grand but ngezinto ezimnandi ozoyi-enjoy so into engiyithathile leyo mina gents
asifiso nayo enye uva yena ekasi ufika ubabonisa ukuthi naleli grand naleyo ubabonisa ukuthi ayi grand ekasi yabo naleyo ubabonisa ekasi ukuthi yabo shiny breakfast ora
I think puisano ya lona le Bianca ene le puisano entle thata go itse gore re ka ja re ka se jim mare gape ke bone le makawana ba dingwe ga tse di ko tlase ga ba rate go ja like maungo yalo bo apole boy ga o ba fa maungo a ntse yalo bona le gore nako ngwe ga ba rate mare ga o mo fa sengwe se se jana ke nna convinced gore ke se buitse ke tla se ja me fela se se ka mo gare ga teng ka mo ke se leng gore se tla mo thusa gore a kgonne go tswella ka go ikatisa le gore a nne le matla mo metshamekong
hey ke a bona le mo ntsala ke bare ke high protein light ntsala ke ai gore ka tsama ke tshota tla mo tsela ke tsama
maybe you can go back to your drama days and act again when
don't phamat ka bona le bo di high energy shake mo le ntsala ke go bua nnete ya ka sfisa buile ko ka se ra itse go jwa bo nama ya tlhogo go jwa bo maotwana mara are a re go ska dija
there's nothing wrong with it
o ka nna wa dija yes mara o dije o limita ke sa se buile ka jalo ke akanya gore ko makishineng ba bone ba utlile gore nya ba nna re tsweleng pele go jana matlhogo ma re je sentle re gopele le future life gore e teng e tle gore fa matla ka gonne Sfiso buile gore ha o ka ra motho re ja sentle o nagana re o tle go mpha dilo tse sa ditse fela monate ke yo ke chocolate ntsala ke ya bona o ka tsa motlafuna ke bona bo di shake ke tse nya ntsala ke ya kanya re ko kasi ko gae ba utlwile ebile go sengwe sengwe ba style ba tla gona gore ba acted differently go go pele.
No, I like what Bianca said, right? Because she said, guys, you can have your spare steak crunchies, you can have your T-bone steak, but just have one T-bone steak. Don't have 5 T-bone steaks. So that's what we like. We could see our tasty 1-2 in the midfield can carry on. But of course, then with the football on 2-6, we promised to really give you, the youth developing player, something that you can think about, something that you can use. You, the coach, you, the parents. And well, I'm excited to announce trials coming up for 2 different teams in the June month. Remember, Elite Sports Academy are hosting trials out in their Vereeniging branch, so like TS Galaxy, and I think they are holding their trials out in Mpumalanga. Gents, let's just take some time just chatting about this trial element. What do you need to be successful at trials, getting scammed via trials, right? I'm sure our team will put the proper information from the 2 teams, bringing out the communication that these are official trials. It's not a scam, these are official trials. So take the details, Risa and Galaxy, but let's just talk through it. Lebu, let's start with you. Indaba ya matrial, Imani Khotman.
Ke tlile Sfiso a lla ntse la ke gore ba ka wana le mantsi ba mo romella melaetsa ba batla go itse ba bang ke tshaba gore ba go romella motho le gore ga se ene ba go romella motho o rong gore monna ke batla di-trial motho a re mphe bokana ke tla go tsenya ka jalo ke a itumela go itse gore di-trial di le teng re tlo go di manega mo football on 2-6 gore motho mo lo mong a bone mme ma ka bana le mantsi batla go tshameka kgwele bona Thando ba na le go inbox a lena gore lebza ba nagana ke na le team ke renya ga ke na team fela ga go nna le di-trial ba nagana ke na le team ke na le setlhopha ke ra
sengwe se o ka se naganang wena lebzikin ba go fa monagano
Lebu Mahume FC.
Lebu Mahume FC.
You already have a football team grooming at home. You can add. Coach nonke na bomme ba ume.
Tsala ke tla ke go gopotse monna ke monna ka bana. Ya no bana ba ke tla ba tsa ke ba dire setlhogo. Me Thando go botlhoka gore makabana fa ba tla go tshameka ba verify information le te gore a ke nnete kgotsa yang ka gone go lo gantsi tsela ke wa itiretsela mo social media ba ka tsena ba re nyama mphebo kana bokana tsamaya ka jalo re tlo go manega information le gore ke yone e siameng tshedimosetso gore a ka ya ka ha ba tla go tshameka kgola dina.
Sfiso, you told me that the kids are still getting scammed. The kids are still texting you and inboxing you and asking you if you have a team. Right? So, I don't know.
Man, outing vele ngifunde quick. Asimbize ngoplayer X umchita.
Okay, you're going to read it out.
Yeah,
okay, read that. Player X.
Asimbize ngoplayer X umchita. Sho Grotmane, igama lami ngo X. I'm from the Northwest. Ngina 15. But turning 16 ngifuna ungitholele team uma usevumile ukuthi I can move to eGauteng nemali khona danke Grotman ngizozwa kuwe and then washiya inamba kama wakhe izinto ezikanjalo if uzo inbox mina just because ngibone ngigcoke iskipa seGauteng Development League and uyasho uma usevumile mina ngusipecifica ngisebenza eGauteng Development League ngithi ntwana ngizwakalisa maybe boma 1.5 boma 2000 and then mina ngizokutshela mase ngikhulumile no coach ushothi angeke ayilethe lo muntu uzoyiletha so yiyo ke masinikeza ama trials kanjena alright yani ama trials and abajida basekhasi banento eyi1 bacawutha ama trials ama singing auditions or ama presenting auditions bahlale bethi hayi ama trials siya 2000 but basesebebazi abantu abafuna ukubathatha ngekwazi mangazange manje lasekhasi ahlala bathi hayi uzoya kuma trials mara sebeyazi bazothatha abani thina sithi sisabhaliswa lapha sebesiyeza nje sobhadala ama application fee bafuna le mali yethu ntwana ngeke wazi mawuthi awuzame ngizokutshela yona iya la uzame.
But that's a good important point now that you make and that's what I'm going to pose to this guy, right? Because he came with the boots, he played some football somewhere somewhat. Ora, how do you crack it at trials? How do you get to trials and really stand out, right? Because it's so difficult, like you said, 1,000 boys. How do you stand out?
When Thando go ka ela tlhoko ga ditlhopha di dira di trial ba be ba setse ba identify le gore ke in position e le gore e tlhoka go filiwa ga ba dira di trial ba itse gore maybe re tlhoka a defender re tlhoka a striker sa this caliber or re tlhoka a midfielder so go di trialing like ke khatlilo ke khanya ga Lunganobela tactics ga ona le technical aware ga ona le yone di tactics ga itse ga go maotong o khona but if you can't trap you can't play so gora gore di basic tsa gago tshwantse di be spot on ga motho a itse go tshameka kgwele a dinao ga tsa maafale o kgona go mmona gore o iteng mo phasetse kgwele la ntla o bona gore o e amogela ya dio tse dintseng yalo go amogela kgwele go nna aware gore go etsagalang around wena ke dio tse leng gore ga makawana ba ya go di trial tshwantse ebe ba tsamaya se ka tsamaya ya go di trialing o itse gore ga o kgone ba re wa scanner ga o sa kgone go scanner di coach di lebella dio tse dintseng yalo gore ga o na le kgwele mo go wena o lebella ya ga o sena kgwele mo go wena ke eng se o se dirang gore player mo lebaleng le player you can identify a player a sa tshwara kgwele le ka mokgwa tabogang ka teng a dira metabogo ba re you run on the pockets ka mokgwa o tabogang ka teng o direla makawana ba tshamekang le wena diphata tsa gore ba kgone go naela kgwele nako ngwe go le motshameka pele ga o tlhoke go tshwara kgwele o tlhoka fela go ntsha di defendera mo tseleng gore bo lebse can wave ga batla ba kgone go feta le kgone go nosa so ke dio tse dingwe tse leng gore ga o ya go le basics tsa gago e be di le spot on tse dingwe o ka kgona go di ithuta especially yang go makawaneng ba re go tlase ga o na le di basic ke tshepa gore o ka nna sentle ke tsene gape mo kganyeng ngwe ya go skemiwa ga di trial bagolo ke rata go advise kira le nna melaetsa ke a ikere ya gore ngwana ke o tshameka kgwele eng ga rena ditlhopha ga rena dikgolagano le ditlhopha gore ke se leng gore ke batlose ga rena dikgolagano le ditlhopha mara ga o bona gore ngwana gago o fila gore a ka kgona go make go phunyeletsa tota go na le di-trial tse leng gore ra di announcer re fetse go di announcer ga o bona gore o bone scam motho o go batla ditšhelete o berekisa cell phone number ntho e phelang ke bolela batho ke re go na no social media e teng re na le di-website re na leng ga o utlwa go te TS Galaxy na le di-trial ga o ka ya go website ya TS Galaxy o tlo bona go na le a landline number rather call that line number o verify le landline number so sa ntlha gape se se leng teng ga go togona le di-trial ba ka se gore re tlisa tšhelete ba ka se gore re tlisa ID di-trial process ya teng e tlo nna so it's either ba tlo go laletsa gore o tle ngwana o tshwantse a traine for a week ba mo assesse 2 weeks ba mo assesse a tshameke di-friendly games only after that process has been done the coach ke bone or setlhopha se tlo go bolelela gore this is how it works re tlo go tlhoka maybe madi a makana for my SAFA card or re tlo tlhoka madi a makana di ko developmenteng ra patela ke na le bana ba ile gore ba go development I know gore gona le madi a itseng gore a duelwa for the registration le di SAFA card le ga se madi a ile gore a bo itshega tota mare ba ile tlhoko gore ga o ya go di trial ba ka se go batle madi o simolla.
So please, we once again want to warn our parents, our viewers, be careful with the scams via trials. Like Ora said, verify with the landline of the club on their websites, and they won't ask you for fees. Just to simply trial, you need to first go there and have your child be assessed, and then the implications of the fees will come after that. So please be careful. We will also do our best. It's our job, I think, to let you know about verified trials, to go out and explore talent. And I think just have fun, boys. You have the ability, you have the talents. Go out and show it to the world. Speaking about showing talent to the world, boys, we get to see once again 2 new teams this weekend. We go to the Tsakane Stadium. Oh boy, I'm so excited to go there, where we'll have Eastern Athletic taking on Jomo Cosmos. Lebza, I don't know, you excited firstly about the venue? You know, some Teski Challenge games played at the Tsakane Stadium. What are you expecting this weekend?
It's like the atmosphere. But I think about the Baleban. It's like ready to go kasi fiso ka itse bitumetse kwa lenteng. O tla bua le re kasi go tsakane ka jalo ntse like e tlo gona monate ke lebeletse batho ba le bantsi ba tlile go tswa ya ka o itse ntse like development league ya rona e bogale thata ba tla ba golo ba le bantsi ba tshegetsi ba tla ba le bantsi ka jalo Tsakane Stadium ke go nke re lenteng ka sontaga ntse like
the numbers ekasi never lies fiso.
Fethu ngiyakutshela ekasi idisk la khona lihlale support ngendlela eyisimanga ingakho uzobona ama games njengama Phillies azogcwala kakhulu ukudlula amanye ama games esiwabona ku PSL. So ama numbers azobe maningi kakhulu siyathemba futhi nangapha bajwayele vele ukuthi mabe yada ITDC basobe beyibuka nokubona igcwala kanjani. So nakhona siyababiza siyabatshela umuntu obukele lana Sunday silapha eTsakane Stadium ngiyakutshela mawuthi nje like us namakota khona ukuthi
okay, ngitshela something like Jomo Cosmos badlala ne-Eastern Athletic. Does it mean sizobona le bhola lasekasi elinoshukela silithandayo, or can we expect more structured football?
Yabona nje simasiqala lapha ngilande lapha kuma under 15 iqala. So into esibonayo la iJomo Cosmos ibuya kwiLosi kuma under 15 ishawe lapha neCultural Hyper Academy. Israel Athletics ibuya ke nakhona futhi nayo ngathi ikwiLosi nakhona under 15. So into esifuna ukuyazi ke ngaphela kakhulukazi Israel Athletics ngiyengakhuluma nabo ngiyengaba interviewer kwi radio station le ngisebenzelayo. So abajita bona babhilivela kakhulu ebholeni lasekasi. Jomo Cosmos angazi ngahlala nabo kakhulu, but into engiyaziyo if team eyodwa njenga izolo SOE belokhu lethi ibhola lasekasi, so sagcina enjoy. So into ezoba mnandi ishushine izoba khona bazoligibela abantu mara nama goals siyathemba azoba khona.
Ngifuna abaligibele mfethu sifuna abaligibele, but then Jomo Cosmos Rapeleng Mohaki is an academy that has been around for the longest time. It's produced players for Orlando Pirates for so many years. Have they fallen off form-wise, especially development? Are they still the powerhouse that they were?
Tandongare ga ke ke bona Jomo Cosmos a powerhouse gonne go fitla ga jana batshameki ba ile gore sele ke ba feleletsa ba tswile ko Jomo Cosmos bo tiko bugwane bo Benjamin Mwaruari ile bona batshameki ba bo fela ba ile gore ke a ba gopola sentle ba ba ntshitsweng jalo ke setlhopha sa Jomo Cosmos, but gona no ngare go na le sengonyana se sa
mellowness, right?
Yeah, le mo motshamekong o ne ba tshameka mo mabaneng re bone under 13 ga ya khona go tshameka motshameko wa teng ga wa tswela pele gonne wa itse gore melao ya rona ya Gauteng Development League fa go sena ba thuso wa potlako ko motshamekong motshameko ga o tswele pele under 13 ga ya tshameka Jomo Cosmos ka gonne ba thuso wa potlako na ba ise ba fitlhe ko motshamekong. So wa bona le ditsamaiso gore the organization ya motshameko go ngare ke bona ne ile ba amogela baeng. So go nile le dilo tse dintseng yana mara ngare I'm looking forward to go to the game ya weekend Eastern Atletico ke batla go bona gore mo lebaleng ba tle ba re tshwetsetseng ke a itse gore the build up ya bone e simolla ga ba tsena ko lebaleng ka mokgwa ba opelang ka teng ba opela basimane ba
bo Beyonce ne
ba opela. So ke batla go bona mo lebaleng gore ba tla be ba re tshwaretseng ene le ka Sfiso Gutlhabile ke tshepa ka si flavor e tlo nna tota e leng gore re tlo e bona mo stopeng seno sa Eastern Atletico go tlo nna monate Tsakane Stadium ka Sontaga.
Manje Sifiso awusayeki-ke future life ndoda kunini? Manje-ke you've been holding on to that future life as if it's running away.
Ngibambile ngifuna ukuyetha i-mic manje vele ngithande kahle.
Jeez, man, I don't know what to do now. I thought like Sifiso's holding the future life. I'm not sure anymore. Would you like another one? Uyisekasi.
Ngithathe ngivele ngiyisekasi. Enye into obuthanda ngaphambi kokuthi udlule. Into engifuna ukuthi siyibonge kakhulukazi la kwi-Eastern Athletic Academy. Kumele sibonge kakhulukazi la bayiphethe. I-team yasekasi sanda kufika ikwazi ukuhayara iTsakane Stadium manje sikushayela izandla akumele njalo sihlale blame ukuthi abanaso stadium but mayikwazi ukuthi ithola ngazi i-deal yabo ikanjani negovernment but mayikwazi ukungena leso stadium ngoba ngiyazi khona enye team abebiza iJubJub edlala Gauteng Development League nayo ukuhayira isinaba stadium eDavidson bekuyinkinga bekuzimali so i-team mayikwazi ukwenza kanjalo mina ngishayela izandla mfethu.
But then, gents, what I like about the show, then we get to preview, we get to review, and then Makachole right, my prediction, Funega Semniga Maflowers like. Lebza said last week that Sluma is less 7 scores, their goal scoring team. They went yesterday, they scored 10 goals. So last week, Signigina Maflowers at Lamini Prada. Yeah, got the predictions right. But you got the predictions right. This guy got them right last week. What can we expect this week round? Maybe you're on fire. Can I see you stolen my pose also? You've stolen my pose also. Yeah, tell me, Lebo, what can we expect on the 13 wise men?
Fa lebelela ntsa la ke le ga ya bone ka mo go emeng ka teng Eastern Athletic Club ba mamang abolusome le bobedi. Jomo Cosmos ga ya masentle ntsa la ke ba mo maemo abolusome le borataro ka jalo ora o buile gore ga ba tshameka under 13 ka jalo ba to go latlhegelwa ke momentum ile ka jalo Eastern Athletic ke bona e gapa ntsa la ke motshameko o under 13 ka Sondag ya re boa tshwantse le mpedi flowers ka gana.
And then that 19 game, Ora, I'm gonna just wrap up with that on this particular fixture. Then we'll pull up some of the Saturday games thereafter. East Rand, I was so impressed, were able to get a draw from Chiefs under 19 wise 1-1 this weekend.
Wa bona Eastern Atletico ke nagana gore ke setlhopha se leng gore re ka se lebella ka leitlho le le go ke rialo ka gore ke majita ko kasi bolo e teng ko kasi like a tlhela a Sifiso gore ba ba tsa ko kasi ba ba integrate but I think Eastern Atletico is setlhopha se le gore tshwantse re saele tlhoko mo setlheng seno. Jomo Cosmos le Ratori, they were flirting with relegation last season. Yeah. This season again ke bona nkare go tlo nna boimanyana gore ba ye go di.
Sure, of course then. That is the broadcast fixture on Sunday. Tsakane Stadium. Let's get out, let's show the numbers for the Gauteng Development League and let us have fun. But gents, Mohamed Pamji and Kaiser Chiefs, I think I saw the thing on the SuperSport Blitz even. It's ridiculous. They still have not lost a game. They go up this weekend. I'll tell you who they play now. They go up against Joburg City this weekend at home at the Village. Do we see them losing?
The pressure is building up for Coach Bamji.
Because every team now wants to beat them, like they would say.
Yeah, ka gonne ga ntse tsama o sa latlhegele le wena pressure ko wena le mokatisi ano e thoma go build up gore how do I maintain the win tse ke le mo tsone ke etsa yang gore ke ska dropa di point but ke nagana gore le ga ka a latlhegelwa ke motshameko ga kitla ikita thata maka wana tle ba dira gaditse ba re fela le Joburg City ra itse gore ba tshameka le ya ba tshameka Joburg City so a ke itse re ba tla ba tlisa surprise ba kone churena. But
Lebu, everyone wants to play Mohamed Bamji now. Even into another sekasi, man, just funuk shy Chiefs.
Mabani Sifiso had a feature mole, but ntsa ke male bestie. Ile ba under 13 ba 7's academy. Ba batla go betsa Kaizer Chiefs ka jalo mongwe le mongwe ba ta Chiefs ntsa la ka gona ba tshameka khulientle ba nosa. Ga re itse gore gona ya nong ba tle go dira Joburg City ya tshameka. Ne re le teng go Randburg Friendship Cup. Re bone ka mogo ba tshamekang ka teng gore ba ka tlogana ba ka ba disturb ntsa la ke fela ga gitse Mohamed Bamji o na le isandla semfene go fela wa gapa ga gitse gore a batle go fetsa pheng ya gagwe khotsa ba go tswela pele ba fenye Kaizer Chiefs.
Speaking of the Randburg Friendship Cup, Randburg Association Football Club, they'll be playing at home against SuperSport United. Fiso, I was excited for that game just looking at it on the papers. You were there at the Randburg Friendship Cup. That game, Amanda 17, I think, is even Amanda 19.
Yeah. It's a one kakhulu fethu especially Amanda 17 Amanda 15 because lapha Randburg Friendship Cup besenza ama 15 nama 17 but then into sibonile iSuperSport United ibingaphezulu kweRandburg kuma under 15 and then Amanda 17 yakhumbula ukuthi iRandburg yaze hamba yawushaya final so okusho khona ukuthi mhlambe singalindela the same thing Amanda 17 angazama ke ukuthi abuyise induku but Amanda 15 definitely ningineze namaflowers ami next week SuperSport United izoyiwina le Amanda 15.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go 2 more games to build up to with both of our panel members. Ora, we used to call it a derby of the West, but with TS Galaxy as nomads at the moment, it's a bit of a, but it is a derby. Panorama Galaxy.
Panorama le Galaxy ba ya ko Panorama ngare Panorama ilo ba tswalla ba le bala la bone ke le lenyanenyana TS Galaxy mare ba khona go tshameka ntwe e nkgatlang ka TS Galaxy gore ba khona go tshameka ga ba bone tšhono ya go tshameka le bala la ko Panorama ke carpet le tlo ba dumela ra itse Panorama e ratonna go morago man ga ne re buisana le Matthew Booth na bua gore plan ya bone gantsi ke gore ba absorb then ba attack TS Galaxy tlo ya go bone ke bona TS Galaxy ilo tsa dintlha ka fa Panorama ka fa.
That is the Panorama and Galaxy game. And then, of course, I'm always interested in Remember Elite Sports Academy. I think with Coscarreño on the show, we always follow where they're doing, what they're going. And they'll be hosting Sevens Academy then at home. Libza, you covered the Sevens Academy under 19 game yesterday. Coach Bayam Shaya, or we will be laughing at him again here next week.
I want to coach Coscarreño.
And Usainile, bearing that in mind, Usainile coach, he signed a left back or something.
Yeah, right back.
Yeah, he's been posting all about it on social media. So is he winning? What is he doing, Coach Coscarreño?
Ke butlile bua ntse like o signile right back le gore kotse re mo dimutla motlo matra re mo lebella in 2 months time I meet the coach ya fela ke a tshepa ka dimela gore ka under 19 ke ba sa dire dipalopalo ntse like a re tlogelle re ke tla mothuta ka dipalo ka gona ka dira dipalopalo go latlhegela fela coach Coscarreño re bone dirang ka thora ntse like e tshameka sentle thata ibile ka tshepa ka dimela e yone resa ke resa ene ya coach Coscarreño yes resa ke akanya gore coach wa go tla ka dintlhantsa le ka gonne go balabala go mothusa thata ka ntse le ke motho tlhatlhamolla mola analyze mo le gore coach ka re o tla ka sengwe ntse le ka tshepa ka dimela gore resa ya go tla ka dintlhantsa.
Hey, I heard coach now saying he's going to take these future lives also and pump
he's like coach Coscarreño ka go mona mo thoko mo lantsa ntsha ditaelo mo ke galla go
a re ska wara ke tshwere Bianca ka future life gore
izomsiza no izomsiza but into ngakutshela yona lapha ethu phakathi kwama 15 nama 17 I remember Elite Sports Academy izowina ngihlala ngitshela ngentwana bathi umfukeng lapha show number 10 kumanda 17 manda 17 nama 15 izowina coach angisho ukuthi ngithini but ay unama uya dropa nyana mamba point uthe yena ka drop uthe uyathatha
he drew and he's like no I didn't drop points I got a point and that is a typical coach's response from Coach Coscarreño. But that is the show. Episode 4 then into the books of football on 216. We thank him, Coach Coscarreño, for coming through and bringing home the nutrition stuff and bringing it together with the football. Thank you, Bianca from Future Life, also for coming through and really giving us the value of how we can merge eating and the game to bring the Ballon d'Or not only to a male player, but also to a female player. That's the goal. And when it comes here on South Africa, we'll have it on this table here on Football 216 instead of the protein shake. But boys, thank you to you once more time. We'll be at Tsakani Stadium all together, and it will be nice. But until the next one, Woo! Okay.